Hey loves! So yesterday we kind of figured out how to use algebra to find these things, and today we're going to use that because we do not have a graph or a table to go by. So it says, remember you can use FOIL to get the expanded form. So they give us the factored form, which is nice, right? So we use first. I should probably write it unsimplified up here first as I do this. So first, outer, inner, last. So I have x squared plus 6x plus 5. Remember, my y-intercept is when x equals 0. So from our notes yesterday, we find the y-intercept in the expanded form. So I'm going to put 0 in for x here. So I would have y equals 0 squared plus 6 times 0 plus 5. And it is always the constant, right? So when x equals 0, y equals 5. And then my x-intercepts. Remember, I have 2 of these, right? So using my factored form, when the x-intercepts are in the factored form, you use the opposite number in the factored form. So I have -1 and I have -5. That wasn't so bad, right? And then my line of symmetry, I'm adding these up, so -1 plus -5 divided by 2. So this gives me -6 divided by 2, which equals -3. So x equals -3. Because remember, it is a vertical line through x is -3 right here. Alright, can we do this? I think we most certainly can. Remember to use your notes if you need to. So first, outer, inner, last. So I have x squared plus 2x minus 15. My y-intercept is when x equals 0. So when that's 0 and that's 0, my y is just going to be -15. My x-intercepts are the opposite here. So I have 3 when y is 0, and I also have -5 when y is 0. So then I'm going to combine these. So I'm trying to figure out what is between 3 and -5. So I add them together and divide them by 2. So I have -2 divided by 2, which is -1. So x equals -1. Remember, because that is a vertical line. Okay, can you totally do these? Let's do 2 more together, and then actually, let's look at the next. Let's do 1 more together, and then we'll let you do D on your own. So remember, expanded form, we're just using FOIL. First, x times x. Outer, x times 4, Inner, -2x, and last, -8. So now I have x squared plus 2x minus 8. My y-intercept is right here, right? So when x equals 0, y has to equal -8. My x-intercepts come from my factored form, so I have the opposite and the opposite. And my line of symmetry, I add them up. So 2 plus a -4 divided by 2. So this gives me -2 divided by 2. So x equals -1 again. That is my line of symmetry. So my expanded form here is just x times x, which is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. Make sure you try and give this a go on your own. What would my y-intercept be? That is 0 and that is 0. My y-intercept is also 0. So 0, 0. Here, intercept could be 0, right? Because if I set y equal to 0, either 0 has to equal x or 0 has to equal x plus 2, right? So the other one would be negative 2. This is a very interesting parabola, right? Now my line of symmetry is somewhere between 0 and negative 2, so I could say 0 minus 2 divided by 2, and once again we have x equals negative 1. Not a very huge mixture of what our line of symmetry was. Alright, so you're going to do what we did yesterday. You're going to find the y-intercept from the expanded form, right? It's always c. You're going to find the x-intercepts in the factored form. You use the opposite of those factored form. And then that line of symmetry is your middle. So you're going to add your x-intercepts together and divide by 2. So that's what we did. Bing, bang, boom. All right, tomorrow will be a little bit harder. We're going to have to factor first instead of foiling first. All right, have a fantastic Thursday.